Welcome to Positive Living. I'm Keith Russell Lee, and I am so glad that you have decided to join us on this podcast. The last segment I left off talking about the importance of having the faith of God. I shared something that was really radical. I said that it's not so much important as for us to have faith in God, as many people say, oh, I've got faith in God, I believe. But it's about us having the faith of God and walking in the power of God. In my book, The 14 Principles of Power, Faith, and Living, I talk about that's why it's important for us to have a raised consciousness. That raised consciousness is a power, faith consciousness, that when we understand our oneness that we have with God, well, we understand that we are one with God and we operate within harmony with God. You know, folks, that's not a radical notion at all. For Jesus shared, may you know the oneness that we have with that I have with the Father. Lord, as I am in you and you are in me, may they also know unity. May they come into that same unity together. And it's amazing because many people have not embraced who in fact they truly are and embrace the whole presence of God that lives and moves and has its being in them. And that's what Power, Faith, and Living is all about. It's living in that raised consciousness. And when we do that, we then operate in great faith. That great faith that we can speak into a mountain and say, be thou removed. We can speak into a mulberry tree, be cast into the sea, as Jesus declared. When we operate in this power, faith, and living consciousness, we're able to then embrace the words that Jesus says that with faith, all things are possible. But I have to come to a raised level of consciousness and being. And I talked about that a little bit on the last segment and saying that that's why it's important to read the sacred scriptures. It's important for us to spend time in meditation and spend time in prayer, which is alignment with God. It's important for us to spend our time sitting and hearing the teaching, building up our faith, building up and being reminded of who in fact we are. And that is what Power, Faith, and Living is all about. And operating within terms of that consciousness. Now, I know some people would say, well, why is it that many don't operate in that consciousness? Why is that people don't operate in terms of that great faith? And for the most part, I really believe this, that my people perish. The Bible declares that my people perish for lack of knowledge. That we have not simply been taught these things of how we can operate in the fullness of all that God has for us. But not only in terms of the teaching aspect of that, I believe that we have not truly embraced this notion of who in fact we are and what we have been created and made to be. You know, folks, I want to pick this up on the next segment tomorrow. But live with faith and power and continue to create a phenomenal life. Bye now.